and brothers, George W. Bush is a terrorist for his war. This is a fact that the whole world knows, for his genocidal war against Iraq and Afghanistan. And he is also a terrorist for the U.S. government policy that he has intensified against the country of Cuba. For more than 45 years, Cuba has suffered blockade, biological warfare, and terrorist attacks that have killed over 3,400 Cubans by the U.S. hands. Organizations, terrorist groups in Miami that have been financed, armed, and trained by the CIA, groups like the Cuban American National Foundation and Alpha 66. And George Bush this very summer allowed the worst known terrorist in the Western Hemisphere, Luis Posada Carriles, to be freed into Miami, the only city in the world where he could appear and show his face. Luis Posada Carriles was responsible for the bombing of a Cuban airliner 31 years ago this September. 73 people died on that plane, 73 defenseless people, and all because it was a Cuban airliner. George Bush Sr. was head of the CIA when that bombing took place, and Luis Posada Carriles was a CIA agent at the time. And yet the 5 Cuban men who are in U.S. prison now for 9 years this week, they've been in prison for 9 years since September 12th. 5 Cuban men were sent by Cuba into Miami to infiltrate those terrorist organizations. They saved lives, American and Cuban, and yet they are behind bars in the United States. They are serving 4 life terms and 77 years collectively. So while they won the right to a new trial 2 years ago, the Bush administration continues to keep them sequestered because of court appeals. I ask you, while we're all involved in this struggle to win the fight against the war and end the war in Iraq, to remember the Cuban 5. Please check the website, freethefive.org. Freethefive.org. There are thousands of people in actions this week on their behalf. Fight terrorism, free the Cuban 5, and end this war now. Thank you.